Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome back into the channel. So, this is going to be your shadow work oracle message for today. So, what I'm going to do is just shuffle, just see what comes out and see what is, what we need to talk about, what we got going on, what things that we can be working on in order to constantly improve on ourselves because, healing takes work, it takes time. It's not something that any of us are ever going to fully be done doing. And so sometimes it's nice to recognize maybe those things that, we don't see about ourselves, that we can, kind of bring to the forefront and talk about how we can address it. To all of my current subscribers, welcome back, you guys. To all of my incoming followers and subscribers, welcome in. Hopefully, you find the messages useful, and not every message will resonate with everyone. So please take what does and leave what does not. So, our first card out is Relentless Craving. Addiction is a prison disguised as freedom, consumed, eroding habits. Wow. So, this is possibly a triggering topic for some. So, just warning. When it comes to addiction or addictions, if you've never been addicted, maybe there's somebody in your life that you've known, family, close friend, just someone you've heard about, right? That have had addictions or have addictions. It's definitely a tough thing to overcome, and it's definitely not something to be taken lightly. When it says it is a prison, it absolutely is, because it is something that consumes the mind day in and day out. And it's almost like you can never get enough of whatever it may be. And this doesn't even have to just be a substance. I mean, you can literally be addicted to anything, but it consumes the person to the point where they lose focus on the things that should be priorities. They make bad decisions, reckless decisions. They put themselves in situations that they can't come back from sometimes. And even worse, sometimes they don't come back. I'll just say it like that. So, if this is resonating, this is a message of encouragement to try to regain control of your mind and your spirit, to seek help if needed in order to kick whatever it is that you find yourself attached to relentlessly. I'm just going to leave it as such as far as that message goes, because again, everyone deals with different types of things, but I still want it to be encouraging. I still want whoever this is resonating for you to know that there is still hope. If it is something that you choose, that you want to stop, you can. And maybe you just need the right support system. Maybe you need to be able to open up to the right people about it, person about it, in order to start moving in the right direction. Because once you acknowledge that it's a problem, that's a great first step. The work is harder, but I encourage you, I encourage you to still attempt to get control of it. Then we have Shadow alchemy. Turn shadows into gold by shifting your awareness, empowerment, and rebirth. Changing your perspective, turning pain into power, transforming yourself, taking something that is controlling you and regain control of it. A lot of people have survived so many things and they have a choice. They can use those things that were hard to overcome. And this could be addictions, this could be even diseases. I personally connect with, family that have had life-changing diseases. And so it's not something easy to overcome, but once you have overcome it, it can give you a new found sense of empowerment because now it is a part of your journey. You are a survivor of something that could have turned horrible, turned deadly. And not all people are able to get through these types of shadows. So if you are able to overcome it, definitely pat yourself on the back. I congratulate you. I commend you because I know how difficult it can be, but you will become a brand new person once you've gotten past this thing because you will have a different type of awareness and you will now have regained control of your mind because that's what it controls, your mind. What else? Find wholeness, bring together fragments that complete you, acceptance, inner peace. Sometimes we go through things as kids, trauma, and that could be anything. I don't need to be specific, but we all know our own stories. But the trauma that we go through when we're young and we're vulnerable and we don't have all the knowledge that we need in order to fight back, it takes pieces of who we are. So as we grow older, we feel incomplete. We feel like there's parts of us that are missing because they are. A lot of the innocent parts of us that made us who we truly were supposed to be. It blocks us from expressing love and receiving love in the correct way. It blocks our creativity. It keeps us from growing. It throws us into harmful patterns in life. And most of the time, we can go 10, 20, 30 years without realizing why our life is where it is, why we are in repeated patterns, why we do the things that we do, why we treat people the way that we treat them. And that has to come from self-awareness, which is it's tough to sometimes see your own patterns. But once you start to heal, you start to find those missing pieces. You start to regain pieces of yourself that you need in order to be who you're supposed to be. And that comes with doing the work, doing the healing, you guys. What else? Exactly. Just what I was talking about. Those unseen patterns. When we're just living life and trying to grow and deal with puberty and first boyfriends and girlfriends and first jobs and getting through high school and dealing with bullies sometimes and going to college and trying to figure out what it is we're trying to be, but our parents are saying this is who you should be, but you don't really feel like that's who you are. But sometimes you feel like you still have to go in that direction. All of those things are happening. So there's not really time to figure out that we are in a pattern that is not for us, that is not meant for us. So when there's unseen patterns, it takes us to change our thoughts, to change our life. That means changing our beliefs, to reprogram our brain, rewire it. And that is definitely a tough shadow to overcome, because most of the time those things are controlled by the environments that we grew up in, the things that people told us that we should believe in. But as we grow, those things can change. It's okay if your belief system changes. I always say we have one life to live for ourselves. And as long as your intentions come from your heart, from a good space, as long as your beliefs and the things that you truly desire don't harm any other individuals, reach for that. Go for that. If that is what's going to bring you true happiness from the inside out, do what you have to do to reprogram yourself. Emotional release, letting go creates space for new beginnings, catharsis, purification. Maybe some of you out there just need to scream out loud. Maybe life is overwhelming and you're constantly pushing down your feelings and pushing them to the side because maybe you don't have a safe space to express them. And maybe you just need a good release. Maybe it's time to find someone that you can release your emotions to. You need a safe space because maybe, again, you have a family or parents or siblings who expect you to always have it together. There is no such thing as being emotionally weak. There is no such thing as showing emotions. But obviously, you are overwhelmed and you need to release. You need to create a space that is safe for you in order to do so. Because as you hold them in, it's almost like when you shake up a soda bottle and you don't open it, that pressure just continues to build and build. And one day, that top is going to come off anyway. And it's going to destroy a whole bunch of things in its path. This is what can happen if you continue to hold in your emotions. So don't do that. Wounded healer. The wound is the place where light enters you. Empathy, healing, purpose. Yes, just to give confirmation to everything we've just talked about, you have to work on healing your inner wounds. And a lot of the times, our inner wounds started in childhood, and sometimes they're so hard to have to revisit. They're so hard to have to discuss because maybe the culprit or the person who created the wound is not ready to be open about it or provide you the closure or the explanation or whatever it is that you need in order to heal from said wound. But that's okay. That's okay. I still say release whatever it is that you're feeling about that thing that created the shadow, that created the trauma that has now been with you. Still express yourself, even if you don't get the response that you want to receive from them. You still released it from you. So instead of you holding that in and holding it to yourself, you released it back to the person where it belongs. Now you can begin healing. Now you can begin evolving and alchemizing your shadow, finding the broken pieces to your puzzle and starting to put yourself back together to figure out who you truly are and who you were always supposed to be. Breaking the chains of those unseen patterns, taking you into a whole new direction, looking at yourself in a whole new light, being able to now love yourself in the way that you deserve, because it always starts with the self. All right, you guys. Well, that's what I have for you. If this message did resonate for you, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. But until next time, you guys, bye. And P.S. Remember how strong you are. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hold in your emotions. Release so that you can start to heal and grow.